Ed is going to be demonstrating the prone plank as well as the side plank. We're going to start out with the prone plank. So you're going to assume a position of push-up position. Once you're in the push-up position, Ed is going to go down to his elbows. Once down to his elbows, he wants to make sure that his shoulders are in alignment with his elbows. He'll be back on his toes. Once on his toes, we want to make sure that he assumes the right position, putting his butt down a little bit. There you go, hips are in alignment. We're going to be working on his basically core, but what they are specifically, the erector spinae, also the transverse abdominis and the rectus abdominis. Okay, and now we're going to try to time the client, starting with 30-second increments. One of the things that you want to watch out for, butt should not be too high, and you don't want him to sink too low as well, and that'll put undue stress on his back. Try to get the client to start at 30 seconds. Once they're comfortable with 30 seconds, work your way up to as much as 2 minutes. Making sure you hold form. If form starts to break, it's better to come back down and reset. You want to do 2 to 3 sets of these. Ed is now going to do a version of the side plank. So plank, again, you want to think about your body being in a straight line. That's what the exercise is supposed to show. So Ed's going to lie on the side. He's going to get set up by putting his elbow, again, right underneath his shoulder. His bottom foot should be straight out. His top leg can be a little bit in front of his bottom leg, toe pointed. And once he's set, again, this is going to be a timed exercise, and we're working on his internal and external obliques, also transverse abdominis, and then we're also working on some glute medius and minimus muscles as well as the hip adductors. So once he's set, we will start timing him. These do tend to be a little more challenging. Start out smaller increments, maybe 30 seconds. You want to make sure, again, that they don't sink down into the hip, and you want to make sure that they're not too far anterior or posterior. Keep that body in a nice plank, nice alignment.
Today, Joanna's going to show us the proper technique of bicep curls. And you want to start with your feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, shoulders back, chest high, and a straight back. And you want your arms to your sides. And to achieve your full range of motion, you want to keep your upper arm and your elbow stationary. As you contract, you want to reach to your chest and make sure your lower body stays in the same position as before. It's important to pick a comfortable weight, otherwise your body will start to compensate by using your back instead of your arms, and then everything will not be in stationary, and then you'll have a good way to correct this is by going against the wall. This way it'll keep your back upright and straight, making sure everything touches the wall. And as you're doing this, you should feel your activation in your biceps brachii, your brachialis, and your brachioradialis. And you should feel partial activation in your forearm flexors. Make sure your breathing is correct, which is exhale in contraction and breathe in for extension.
Okay, today Pauline is going to demonstrate the proper technique for the lat pull-down exercise. The lat pull-down exercise works muscles of the upper and middle back along with the shoulders. The particular muscles that it works are the latissimus dorsi, the teres major, middle trapezius, and the rhomboids, and for the shoulder we use the posterior deltoid. Okay, to start the exercise, you approach the machine and you reach up and grab the bar at a hand width slightly wider than your shoulders. You step into the machine and sit down with your knees underneath the pad, making sure that the pad is set as a height so that your feet are as flat on the floor as possible. Make sure you pick a weight that is comfortable for you, and when you are ready, you lean back slightly and pull the bar down to your sternum. Make sure that as you are doing this exercise, you are controlling the weight so that you're not letting it jerk back up. Now, a common mistake a lot of people do is instead of just having a slight lean back, they lean back as they're pulling it down, and it puts undue stress on the lower back. Another common mistake people do is instead of pulling it down to their chest, they pull it down behind their head, which can put strain on the neck. Now, most people will do 8 to 10 reps if they're going for muscular strength, and 10 to 15 reps if they're going for muscular endurance. When you have finished the exercise, you can stand up while holding onto the bar. If you have a spotter, you can let them help you. And you basically just set the weights down gently and step out of the machine.